everybody, it's your hoe Lola. This is my first vlog, I guess, with topics or whatever. So bear with me if I'm not your typical, vlogger. Just put in the comment section what I need to do or what you expect more or topics that you want me to discuss, and I'll be sure to get to it whenever I can. My topic today is my baby daddy. Oh, the baby daddy. Um, how we met is through one of my exes. And what I mean by that is he introduced me to her sister. He was selling her some dashikis, and I dropped him off to do that. And he came back out and he told me, he's like, hey, the sister, her dreads is kind of loose, but I know you do hair, so she want to know if you guys can exchange numbers and you guys can, work on a scheduled date to, fix her hair. We did that. I ended up meeting her and I ended up getting her number. She liked me. So when I did her hair, her brother came, my baby dad. I was not interested in him. He was very short, like I thought like 5'3". I'm 5'6", 5'7". He's like 5'3", 5'4". Very arrogant. When the first vibe that you get, you already know that, that's what you're supposed to take and run with it. But you overthink, bypass it. But that was my first impression of him. I was not interested in him. He was boasting about what he had in his job and this and that, but little did he not know, I was a hustler in my own goddamn self. So his money didn't impress me. I see niggas that had lots of fucking money, lots of money, you know what I mean? And they still couldn't get me to, submit to them. So it kind of just, bypassed me when he was doing all that. And then he mentioned, we were smoking one day. The day that I was doing her hair, he asked if I smoked. I said, yeah. He asked me if I wanted to smoke with him. I was like, okay. This crazy nigga had the nerve to smoke with me in his girlfriend's car. She was at work. He failed to mention that. The only time he mentioned it was when he had it said, what did he say? He was like, oh, where do you live? And I was like, oh, I live out the way. I live towards Union City at my grandma's house, but I'm looking for a place to stay. I just came from Modesto. And he's like, oh, well, my living room is for rent. He's like, it's not much, but I ain't going to charge you nothing. And he's like, I'm not going to charge you a lot. He's like, but you feel me? It'll be easier for your commute since your job's closer to where I live. I thought about it, like, you're absolutely right. But like I said before, he has a girlfriend and she has a daughter. So, excuse me, I had to adjust my wig. So I was kind of irritated, like, what the fuck do you mean? You feel me? You got a girlfriend and a baby, and then you expect this single, semi-attractive female to come to your house and home wreck some shit? Like, no, what the fuck? Even though I wasn't interested in him, like I said, he's very flirtatious, and it was obvious he was interested in me. So it's like, why would I put myself in that predicament to even go to his house with that wife and that kid? So I just brushed that shit off like, no. But he was just like, well, if you ever think about it, just let me know. It's up to you. It'll help me out. And I was just like, okay, I'll think about it. Never did it. So a couple of weeks passed. Me and his sister were getting along very well. We were hanging out. I'd always go to her house on my break, and we'll go to get some burritos, or she'll cook, or we'll cook together. And she was just really. I loved her personality, so we kind of like hit. But like I said, I was not interested in her brother. So there was one night that, not even one night, it was one afternoon. I just got off of work, or it was on my break or something. I get a call from her, and she's like, hey, you need to come and smoke with my brother because his girl just left him, and he been sleeping on my couch for about 5 to 6 days, and he got to go. So basically, she used me to get him off her couch because she was tired of him, probably wanted some dudes over, or, just her own space. And, my dumb ass like, oh, he's single, vulnerable. I need a place to stay. Fuck him about 1 or 2 times. Yes. I'm not going to have free rent. this little young ass little trick looking motherfucker just gonna get this little nut off every night. I ain't worried about it until I save up until I get my own spot. I'm cool. So I go over there. He's sitting there looking like a lost puppy, just like she said. But when he saw me, he kind of lit up like every typical hoe do. So I walk up to him or whatever, and I had an ounce of weed. At this time, I worked a lot, so I couldn't just get like apes and stuff. So I always had a bunch of weed, so I didn't have to go looking for any on my lunch breaks or when I got off of work. So I was just like, "You trying to smoke?" And he was just like, "Oh yeah, 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 it's good." So then he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, so what's up with you?" He's like, "Oh, nah, I guess me and my girl just it's over with." And I'm just like, I'm like, "Oh," I'm like, "Don't feel bad." I'm like, "She'll come back around." He's like, "Nah, I think it's just really over," and shit like that. And I was just like, "Oh, well, maybe it wasn't meant to be." I'm just trying to say anything just so that he can just stop being in that depressed ass mode because he was just looking hella ugly. So, he had offered me to, no, he didn't offer me anything. His sister was babysitting his mom's puppy or dog or something like that. And I guess the dog was just irritating her. So she was just like, "Hey, can y'all go back out to, to mom's house so that, y'all can get this dog because I'm tired of it." So I rode with him to go drop the dog off. And after that, I never I just stayed at his house after that. Like after we dropped him off at the mom's house, we went straight to his house, and then I basically started living there since. And then I tried. We were sexually active because, like I said, I'm a whore, so of course I'm gonna try and finesse a living situation if it's free, and by using my coochie. So you feel me? I let him fuck time to time, and then at the time I wasn't fucking with nobody, so I didn't give a fuck. And me and my ex wasn't sexually active, so we was just hanging out. So it was no, I wanted some dick either way it goes. So me and him ended up fucking, and then about a week after. Oh, okay, I can't even mix it. I can't mix stories. I'm sorry. Okay, 3 weeks, 5 weeks into me staying over at his house, I ended up going to take a test, and I was positive pregnant. So basically, in the beginning of me even trying to use this nigga for a place to stay, and having sex with him, I got pregnant pretty much the first or second week that I even stayed over there. So that was my karma, trying to use a motherfucker for rent. Um, he turned out to be kind of fucking crazy, hella fucking crazy. Um, he he was very insecure. Me and him didn't get along. If I was outside or if I went anywhere, and I had my if I just even looked up somewhere or just looked up and to the left or just had my head in that direction and there was a man there, he'd swear up and down I liked the man, I wanted to fuck the man, and then he'll just threaten me to kick me out the car, all type of weird shit. And then I remember one day we were arguing and we were on a freeway. I was pregnant. Of course I was pregnant. Like I said, I got pregnant when I first met so I was like 3 months pregnant or something like that. um Me and him are arguing on the freeway over something stupid, and then this bitch had the nerve to tell me to get out the car while I'm pregnant. Me being the Virgo that I am and me not even giving a fuck, I hop out the car, but I'm all crying and shit, hold on to my stomach. Everybody could see my belly because it was kind of in the summertime. So everybody's honking at me to signal me to either get in their car or to try and scoot closer to the side so I don't get hit. Mind you, I'm over there between, I want to say 26th and the 26th or 24th exit on I-880. So, and that around that time it was being remodeled, so it was kind of like that little hill thing, so it's very dangerous. And my stupid ass got out the car because he pulled over, and my ass was trying to go up the hill on High Street or 26th or something like that to get somewhere because I just didn't want to be around him. But I ended up realizing after 2 minutes and all that honking and commotion in my hormones, I realized that I was doing a little too much, and I was putting myself and my son at risk. I didn't know he was my son at the time. So my stupid ass eventually ended up getting back in the car. After that, he didn't argue anymore. Like I said, he had like a bad bipolar disorder, and it just like really got on my nerves. Like, I couldn't stand it. Because after he'll talk to me or make me feel sad or like insecure, he'll try and hug me and like kiss on me or try to like have sex, for me to like make up for it. And it just, I don't know. I just never was emotionally attached to him. I never was really emotionally attached to him. Like, I really hated him. Um, he does some things that I'm not gonna really discuss because, like I said, I don't even want that energy out there. But it was to the point where, like, if you do that to me while I'm pregnant and you're being hella aggressive, like, you don't have to punch me in my face, but if you're just any type of annoying ass physical force, you don't have to slap me or do anything to cause bruises on me. But you know you being hella aggressive and doing all that weird ass shit while I'm pregnant and putting me at stress, I don't want to deal with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you can do that while I'm pregnant, imagine what you can do once I have my child. Like, I had to think about it. I had to think long and hard. And after that day, I had left him. And it was just like, the only reason why I even started to stay with him is because I had got pregnant. And I'm like, okay, what do you want to do? I asked him, I said, so what are you thinking? Everybody already told me to get an abortion because, like I said, I didn't know him. Even my mom was like, do you know him? Is this what you want to do? My father asked me, is this what you want to do? You know what I mean? I kept saying it. I'm about to be 25 years old. I'm not about to get rid of my fucking baby. Like, you feel me? That's hella fucking selfish. Like, what makes y'all think that I'm finna get rid of a baby because I don't know a nigga? Like, I shouldn't have been fucking him for free rent. Like, you feel me? This is my karma. Let me deal with it. Let me do what I need to do to have my son. You know what I'm saying? And I did what the fuck I needed to do. I left that nigga, got an apartment about 2 months later, never told him about it. He was blowing me up, calling me. I didn't want to deal with it. Like, you feel me? Because at the end of the day, he knew I was pregnant, but he was denying my son. Because, like I said, we didn't know each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when we were living together, I had like told him already what I was about. You feel me? I worked the 9 to 5. That's how you met me. But you feel me? I don't like to disclose to people. Like, if you don't know I hoe, I'm not about to tell you I hoe. But on the simple fact that me and him was living with each other and shit like that, and you could see the signs. I told him like, shit, my ass be on. I do that on the extra to get some extra money on the side if my checks is running slow. And shit, he didn't worry about it. He didn't care at the time because, like I said, we was no couple. We was just living with each other, and I just had something I was just something to fuck on, and he was somebody that was, you feel me, beneficial for a living situation. So we both was using each other pretty much because, like I said, I was his rebound, and he was my motherfucking shelter. So, yeah, but after he was being hella aggressive and doing all that weird shit, I ignored him. I wasn't trying to deal with him. I leveled up on his ass, and I just was like, if you think that a trick is my son's father, then let that be that. You know what I mean? But if I don't call your phone, or if I don't be around you, or none of that shit, don't come call my phone. Like, don't say nothing to me about my son. Like, it's bad. Like, you feel me? It's a trick, baby. It's a trick, baby. But I let him go to the baby shower. Um, Even though I was irritated with him denying my kid, like, you feel me, none of his family was even around. Like, even though I didn't give a fuck, but at the same time, my son's gonna wonder why not. But I had no support from his side. I had my mom's support the most. My mom's side of the family, they supported me 1,000% and more. Still do to this day. But he kept denying it. Kept telling everybody, you feel me, I was fucking on tricks or whatever. I told him, yeah, I was fucking on tricks. I wasn't fucking on them raw. Bitch, I know who's my baby daddy. I don't know you. I ain't never, you feel me, I barely know your name. So what makes you think I'm about to sit here and tell you that you're the father of my child when I could, if that's the case, then I could have just fucked on my ex and then just told him, like, hey, you're the father. I'm pregnant finally after all these years. You know what I mean? Because I have more of a connection with him. I had a long history with him. So if I was gonna pin a baby on someone and I didn't know who the father was, I would have just pinned it on him. Like what? So anyways, so I just was laughing at him. Like, if you think that my baby's a trick baby, you ain't buying my son nothing, then you know what? Oh well, I'm gonna handle mine. But I just felt in the end like I'm not gonna want to regret anything. So I invited him to the baby shower. But when I invited him to the baby shower, I knew that he was gonna expect him to come to my apartment. And like I said, he didn't know where I lived at, and that was fucking out. So you feel me? I had to have his family, like get him out of my fucking baby shower without trying to stay with me, because I don't want to deal with him. Like I said, you could be a part of your son's life, but nigga, I don't want nothing to do with you. And then on some fact that you could down talk me to a lot of people, and I'm the only person that had your baby. Like, everybody else threw your shit in the sewer. Like, you feel me? I'm the only one that carried my son full term, and he's beautiful, bright, and smart as fuck. So it's like, that's on you. And then on top of that, he ain't even get a chance to see my son being born. You know why? He's in jail for murder. Sorry for the long pause. It just annoyed me as fuck because that shit just annoyed the fuck out of me. He needs to get his life together. He's sentenced to 25 years to life, but they say, quote unquote, the case is under. I guess he's gonna try and get another date or whatever. I don't know. I guess he want to get out sooner. But the sooner he get out, the sooner I'm getting the fuck away from him, because at the end of the day, my son don't need that type of influence. Like, you've been in jail your whole life. You tried to change your life by, being a paralegal and, pass laws and bills and things like that. But yet your impulse takes over your intelligence. And I don't like that. That's a big turn off for me. So, and like I said, you're insecure, you're aggressive, weird, all of that, and then you have to disrespect me. You don't have my back. If I'm not protected by you, what makes you think I would even want to deal with you? When my back's up against the wall, you gonna sit there and let me hang, and ain't nobody worth that. So deuces, me and my son fine. Stay in jail, keep getting fucked on in your ass, and yeah, there's no love lost. You feel me? His family could see him if they want to. I do actually let him see certain family members, but like I said, I don't want the negative energy, and I don't want the fake energy around my baby, because my baby can feel it. You know what I mean? My baby is very smart. He knows who really love him, and he knows who, you feel me, was there from day one, and never turned his back on him or never denied him. You know what I mean? And that's his mama. Okay. But yeah, so to answer a lot of you guys' questions, I just met him. I tried to use him for, a place to stay. It backfired on me. I got pregnant with a baby. I tried to work it out, or tried to even attempt to date him. Definitely didn't work out, because he was very insecure and very aggressive, and it was just not working for me. And no, he ain't a part of my son's life, because he went to jail 3 weeks before my son was even born. So it's like, yes, I do. I let him see my son. My son was only a week old. And the simple fact that I even sacrificed my son's health to go there to see him, to prove to him, like, hey, who does this baby look like? You or me? And then for him to really just, you feel me, look upside down, I wanted to sock that fucking window. Like, bitch, you in jail right now, and I'm the only person answering your calls, and you got the nerve to really just look at my baby and observe my baby to really think if he's yours or not. I had just like moved my son from the window, and I kind of like cuffed him to my chest, and I was just finna walk out. And then he was like, no, I'm just playing. It hurt my feelings, but at the same time, it wasn't about me at the time. You feel me? It's all about, you feel me, my baby. And I knew my baby looked like the bitch, and so I just let him, you feel me, I just sucked it up, talked my shit like I'm supposed to do, and let him see him. And then he was sitting there looking stupid, sitting there crying, shaking, rubbing his face and shit, looking dumb. Oh, my little nigga. No, he ain't your little nigga, bitch. He ain't nothing but your sperm. Sorry guys for being so angry, but the reason why I'm so angry is because he put up this little front, like as if me and him was in this happy relationship. Mind you, he was in a relationship, or he was having sex with someone before he went to jail while I was pregnant. So once I left him, he got into a relationship right after. So like I didn't give a fuck, I didn't care. The girl reached out to me on some weird shit, telling me about the relationship, and that how he told her that the baby might not be his, but in her mind she believes that it is. But all that wishy-washy. I just told her, like, girl, I don't want him. I don't want nothing to do with him. You feel me? He's all yours. If he denies my son, then who rotted him? I know who ejaculated inside of me. Whatever y'all got going on, that has nothing to do with me. I wish you well. Pretty much that's what it is. And then, but I was doing petty shit too, at the end of the day, because, I wanted to do that because I just felt like she did too much, to look for me. I'm his baby mama, but at the end of the day, I'm not calling his phone. I'm not in his mama house. I'm not doing all that extra shit. So why are you trying to, you feel me, make yourself known? I don't give a fuck about you or him. And that's what it was. So, but yeah, he had a whole ass relationship before he even went to jail. But she didn't stay for him. Like, what's she gonna deal with a fucking jailbird for? You feel me? So she cut on his ass. So who else he got besides the bitch that he got knocked up?